Hello and welcome to Gabe in the Kitchen. Today we're going to be making absolutely delicious, fluffy donuts. Or if you want to be fancy, you can call them bombolinis because they are fluffy enough to qualify as bombolinis. Now, there's going to be an option to stuff them with the most delicious chocolate filling. But that is optional. If you don't want it, you don't have to do it. So I'm just going to focus on the donut, and then those who want at the end will do the filling. For this recipe, you're going to need Now, of course, it's a beautifully warm day. The sun's out. It's like 24 degrees in here. Perfect for making any kind of bread, donutty, any kind of dough that needs to rise and proof. This is absolutely best conditions. If it's not, try and warm up your house, or you're gonna have to use the oven light to get a nice environment for your dough to proof, or something like that. You just need nice warmth, man. Let's do it. Most of this is going to be on the stand mix, and I'm just going to let the stand mix do the job. But you can do it yourself manually on the table and knead away for about 15 minutes, get that gluten going. But you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let the machine do the job for me. Let's go. Of course, and here we are. So we've got our milk. Now this is this is about 36 degrees Celsius. Get your milk all in there, nice and lovely. Usually you'd follow that with yeast to activate it. Yeast and sugar, activate it, leave the salt for later. But you know, this yeast does not need activating. It is pretty much good to go. But I'll do that step anyway. So put your yeast in there. Usually you'd leave that for about 10-15 minutes to get it all frothy, so you know the yeast is actually alive. But yeah, since I don't have to wait for it, I'm just gonna add my sugar. Pretty much adding everything to the stand mix and then letting it do its thing. Eggs. Plop, plop. So easy. So easy if you have a stand mix. And of course, our dry mix can go in as well. Now, I should mention, this bread flour is very strong bread flour. It has about 14 grams of protein. The higher your protein content, the better your dough will be. Because gluten is what makes us love bread, you know? So the more gluten, the more protein, the better your results. Everything but the butter's in. Then dough hook attachment, which is gonna go a maximum of 2. If this is on, which is not. Maximum of 2, and then let that go for about 10 minutes. Yeah, we're gonna go till it forms a dough and it doesn't stick to the side. It sort of pulls away from the side. Then we know we're ready to add our butter, 1 knob at a time. Notice I've got little bits here. Yeah, we'll add it 1 knob at a time till it's all incorporated. Okay, so it's been about 7 minutes. We've got a nice dough forming in there. Time to add our butter. Now, I'm just gonna go 1 knob at a time. Okay, that is way too soft. Make sure your butter is like soft, room temperature butter. I'm telling you guys, the dough, the bread flour you use makes such a huge difference. Okay, huge difference. Make sure you check the protein content at the back. This one is 14 grams, as I said, but the higher the better. Canadian bread flour, as far as I know, is the highest I've seen. You can get some on Amazon. If you want a link, just let me know in the comments. I'll link it for you. Okay, so that's all the butter in. I'm gonna go for an extra 5 minutes, and then we'll do the window pane test, and then we'll see if we need extra time. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes. Let's check. Oh, this dough is so nice to handle. Do a window pane. It is not quite ready, I don't think. I mean, this will make good dough, but you can tell it's not quite there yet. So we'll give it about an extra 5 minutes, and then we'll check on it again. You can, of course, take this off and start kneading it manually, but my wrist hurts, guys. It hurts. I ain't doing that. Now, let's do the test together. I've just greased my hands so I can get this off easier. Oh, wow, that feels great. Right, so grab a little corner and then stretch it gently till you get a nice see-through window, so to speak, of dough, just like that. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but that looks good. Basically you want to get as thin as possible without it ripping. Nice. So I'm just gonna scrape the sides. I want to get every last drop of this to come with us straight onto our surface. There's our dough. You don't want to put any extra flour on here. Okay, this is absolutely perfect as it is. Ooh. It's gonna feel like chewing gum. That's what you want. That's gonna make delicious bread. Yeah, my wrist isn't.
Do you want me to knead it? Do you need me to knead it? Are you sure?
It's pretty much already needed. I'm just.
Oh, the magic these donuts bring. Rings of joy puffed with. Isn't he jiggly? Look at that.
See how smooth the top is, guys? That's what you need.
Damn, that's an implant, that is.
What? How many cc's?
I don't know.
That's like a.
Damn.
Grab yourself a large bowl. I've just gently greased it with some butter, just so it doesn't stick. You shouldn't worry too much about the sticking anyway. And if you need, if you're wondering, oh Gabe, how are you doing this? I'm basically just scooping and pinching the very bottom to create a nice tension on the outside, and that helps it to proof nicely. Gently in, and we're gonna go until this is double in size. It's gonna take about an hour to an hour and a half, so be patient. And now that the kitchen is nice and warm, it's gonna take basically less than an hour.
I thought you were gonna say how clean it is.
So set your timer, grab yourself some cling film. I'm gonna go in with the towel and just leave that in a warm place for an hour. For me, it's right here because the kitchen is nice and warm. See you in a bit. Okay. It's been about an hour and it has beautifully, more than beautifully, doubled in size. Now you have two options. You can start making your, if you're happy with this, first of all, let's pop out the air. Oh, how great was that? If you're happy with this, you can pop out the air, roll it out, and start getting your donut bits out with one ferment. I am gonna go for a second ferment. So I'm just gonna get all the air out and basically put it back in for an extra 45 minutes. But 30 to 45 minutes. This is completely optional, honestly. You don't have to do that. That's just me. I like a double ferment. It makes for a better texture. Oh boy. So that's what I'm gonna do. But of course, if you're not doing that, as soon as you do this, divide your dough up and then form balls, which you can skip to this time mark and I'll show you that bit. So basically you can skip this part of the video if you're not doing a second ferment. But for those of you who are, just gently knead, get your air out, and then we're gonna do exactly the same thing again. Form your ball. Again, no need to flour your surface. This is plenty. And then leave it in a nice warm place again for 30 to 45 minutes till it doubles in size again. All right. So we finished our second ferment. Again, you can repeat it for a third ferment. I wouldn't go any further than that. So we have doubled our dough again. Beautiful. Just tip that out. Oh, now we're done with the fermenting. Well, I say that we're done with the fermenting of the whole thing as a big old bowl. Pop out all the air. What we're gonna do is we're gonna portion out 75 grams worth of dough. So grab yourself a knife, I guess a scraper, whatever you got. And you just wanna portion this out. It should make about 11 to 13 pieces. This is just grease-proof paper that I cut out into squares, and this is where the donuts are gonna sit. Fill them deep with molten gold, chocolate stories sweet and bold. All right, so my maths was a bit off. This is not 12 or 13, it is 10. So once you have your dough, you're just gonna make sure everything comes together as one piece, especially if you've got like different bits. Make sure it all comes together. And then fold into a ball. And you want to be quite tight like so. I hope you can see that on camera. Create nice tension. And then at the back, you want to pinch everything together. Just gonna do the same for the rest. Oh, when you've done your donut, place it on your grease proof. And then place it somewhere that it can proof. And there you have it. We'll just cover this. Covering it keeps the moisture in. If you don't cover it, it will dry out the dough. You don't really want that. So get some cling film, cover this as best as you can. And again, we'll leave this. I know you're probably like, oh my God, how many proofing do I have to? Yeah, well, this is the last one, I promise. We'll leave this to proof till it's about double in size for about 30 minutes. You want to be able to press it and it bounces back slowly, not quickly. And you don't want it to be overproofed where when you press it, it stays as an indent. So give it 30 minutes and then we'll check on it. Okay, and there we have it. Our donuts are ready to go. If you press, slow bounce up. These two, they weren't rolled properly and it kind of burst. So I've had to redo them. That's why they're still behind. There's probably a few in here that are in the same boat, but we'll find out when it fries. But yes, I'm not going to fry these two just yet, but I'll fry all the others. Now, I'm using a wok. You want to fill that with oil and you want to get it to 160 Celsius. That is very important, guys. Get a thermometer and make sure it's 160 Celsius. Otherwise, it will be too hot or too cold. Too cold, too much oil in your donuts. Too hot, it will burn and it won't rise. It will just don't do that. Yeah, 160, and you want to maintain it at that. So let's go over to the hob and I'll show you exactly what I mean. About right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that down to 5 and keep an eye on it. Grab your donut. Here we go, guys. Here. I won't peel it off. I'll leave it there. You want to do 2 minutes aside. In fact, while that one's upside down, I'm going to do this one the right way up. You see how now the grease proof has released itself? So now you can just float away. I wouldn't recommend you use your fingers like I just did, but get like tongs. It's probably better. That's the unglamorous part you don't see on videos. People trying to get rid of the their grease proofs. But yeah, keep an eye on the temperature. See, that's dipping. So I'm just gonna turn this back on. Yeah, so this is all we're gonna do. We're gonna keep playing around with the heat till it's just perfect.
Donuts bring rings of joy puffed with delight. Chocolate dreams wrapped up so tight. Golden brown they rise and sing. Oh, the magic these donuts bring. Heat the oil, let it dance.
So I had to make sure that this was cooked and I ripped into the one that had the hole in the back. You know what? That looks gorgeous. Obviously, wait for yours to cool completely before you open it. And yeah, this is burning my hand, but that is a result, guys. Damn. I'm probably just gonna stuff this with something like a sandwich. Right, for those of you who are not doing the filling, you're done. Dust these in like some icing sugar and you're good to go. For those of you who are staying for the filling, stay tuned. We're gonna do that right now. All right, guys, for those of you who are making the filling, we're just gonna go do this real quick. All you need to do is get everything in your hob. Why do I keep calling this a hob? Everything in your saucepan. Sugar. Corn flour. I'm gonna do the rest. I'm gonna put the rest of the ingredients on the screen as I weigh and put them straight in, because it's all like a one pot method. Easier for everyone, trust me. Just gonna heat that till it thickens nicely. We want like a custardy texture, and that's pretty much it. Also, taste this. If it's not sweet enough for you, by all means, add more sugar, man. You can go up to double the amount if you want. Now, when everything's come together like so, you want to add your chopped chips. Taking it off the heat, so we're gonna be here from now on. Stir till your chocolate dissolves in there. If you're using a bar of chocolate, chop it as finely as you can. You can even put it in a mini food processor to get that all blended up. And now add your butter. There you have it, man. All done. Look at that. Right, let that cool and then we're gonna pipe them onto our donuts. All right, guys, final stretch. For those of you who stayed for the filling, woo! Well done. Now we're gonna stuff these donuts full of them. Also, just as a side note, These are the two that I had to redo. You see them, right? I wasn't as patient as I should have been. Look at the size difference. You see that? This is going to be a lot more dense. This is going to be a lot more fluffy. You're going to need a piping bag. You're going to fill that with our lovely chocolate custard. Oh my goodness. Now, grab your donut. You want to go somewhere inconspicuous. You want to poke a hole with a knife right in there and then twist away. That will make room for the filling.
Gabriel, what happens if I go all the way through the donut?
Well, then you screwed up. You go all the way through, you messed up.
Should you put a disclaimer?
What? Try not to. Is that really not common sense? Okay, try not to go through all the way, guys.
Because you'll stab your hand.
The filling will run out. Also, it's worth noting, your donuts have to be completely cold, before you attempt to put any kind of filling in there if you're doing a filling. I do have a filling for a milk filling. A recipe for a milk filling. If you guys want to see that, leave a comment. I'll do this again, and this time I'll use the milk filling. Has anyone else noticed how hard it is to use your left hands on scissors? It's like impossible. As you probably guessed, you're just gonna stick this. Where's the hole? Stick this straight in there.
In your inconspicuous hole.
And squeeze as much filling in there as you can. Whoa. Whoa. Wowza.
Sweet rings of joy puffed with
Looks like you can get away with half this filling. So for those of you who made it this far, half the volume of everything, and yeah, that will be just fine. And there you have it. Chocolate filled Bombolini donuts. I'm gonna use that tag, Bombolini. Yeah, chocolate filled, it's a chocolate ganache, chocolate pudding, chocolate ganache, whatever floats your boat. Filled donuts. Absolutely delicious. Let me crack one open for you. Don't forget to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, whatever floats your boat. And don't forget to check out our Instagram where we do other stuff that's not just cooking. We do food reviews from restaurants, mostly around the Birmingham area, but it could be anywhere. But yes, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Oh my God.